Hello. Welcome back to the
Hello.
SqueekyDogCast. Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. How you doing, Jade? I know you just woke up, but how are you doing in these 10 minutes since waking up?
Well, I feel pretty bad that I woke up so late.
Yeah, it's alright though. You and David both woke up really late today.
But to be fair, yesterday I was like 30 plus hours.
That's why I said, like, you can't be staying up so late. I predicted this.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Um, because now you'll be nice and refreshed for the day, you know?
I
You'll,
do. I do
yeah,
feel refreshed.
that's nice. That's good. Um, but yeah, while you were sleeping, I was pretty productive, but also like in a scatterbrained sort of way where I jumped between a bunch of things. Um, in the middle of the night, I woke up remembering I planned to do something last night, and I don't know why I decided to do it then, but I had been because I've been learning German. I wanted to write the umlauts, like the little like O with the two dots on and stuff, like the U and all that. I wanted to write them down on a piece of paper and tape it to my desk, and for some reason I decided to do that at 2 o'clock in the morning after randomly waking up. So now I have a ripped piece of paper on my
Hello?
desk. Hello? Hello?
I think, was that my internet that dropped there for a
I
moment?
don't know. I mean, mine's been randomly dropping. How long did it drop for?
Just a moment.
Then it might have been
Yes.
me. Because mine's been dropping for like
Mm,
little moments like that. Whatever. It's if it was only a moment, it's fine. I was saying I taped a little ripped piece of paper of the German umlauts. I think that's how you pronounce that.
mhm.
I haven't actually heard them pronounced on my desk. So like
You're right.
the alt commands. You know when you hold down alt and go onto the numpad and stuff.
Okay.
So because like if you're typing, I don't have a German keyboard, so I don't have those keys on here. Um, but damn, that's like so fucking annoying that you have to do that. Like they're not intuitive at all. But I guess it is also kind of like a creative workaround. I cannot imagine like having to do like kanji or like Chinese characters or whatever the hell on like an English keyboard. I'm sure there's like no way you can do that without like a little
Well, I mean, you would change
peripheral
your
device.
typed language, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
but like
know.
with an English keyboard, like physically, like I don't know how you would do that.
You would just kind of want to know where the keys are.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. But I also worked on my essay a bit, and I made a new Magic the Gathering deck that I want to show you at some point. It's a the commander is like a big wolf creature, and I forget its name, but it's green and black, and whenever whenever any opponent is a creature dies, it gains 1/1. It gains a 1/1 counter, and then it can remove all of its counters at once. And depending on how many counters you had built up, you can wipe away your opponent's creatures if they had that amount of mana or less. So like
Oh
if
shit.
I had like if I had 4/1/1 counters and I could just wipe them off the commander, I can wipe any of my opponent's creatures who had 4 mana or lower. And I was like, I saw
That's
that card. I
interesting.
didn't even have that card. I had to like use one of my little wild cards to get it. I saw that card and was like, I have to use this. It's a big wolf that it's like the fucking like this ability that I could tell is pretty
Oh,
busted. I was like, I have to use this thing. This thing looks so cool. And I did. I made a pretty good deck out of it. I think. I think it's a little too cheap. I feel like so many of the cards are 1 or 2 mana cards, but also like they're not bad cards, so I can't really complain, can I? I just don't really have a lot of expensive black cards that are really useful for that kind of deck. You have a lot of expensive green cards, though.
green can get pricey, but green also pumps out mana like no other color.
Yeah, a lot of those cheap green cards I have are mana producing ones. There's a random green card I got. I forget what set it's from, but it was like it's just a 0/5 defending card, and it just made me laugh because it's literally just like whenever you defend with it, it deals like 1 damage to all attackers, and it's just like a little guy on it's like a bunch of guys on top of a tower shooting bows, and it's like that's just a little funny image to me. uh, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
I haven't been playing a lot of Magic like as much as you are in Seri, but I've been watching a lot of Magic content to make up for it.
And Sari's been doing both.
Yeah. I
I
yeah.
really have only been playing with the decks I've created.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really been refining decks or making new ones.
I would love to like go over and make a deck with you and stuff and like cuz you keep saying that like you're not really confident in your deck making ability, but you say that I'm pretty good, so like I don't know, I'd like
I
to
don't know,
put one
you seem
together.
to have a knack for it.
I just like I just like I feel like I'm good at like making little outlines of like things, like planning and stuff. I think I'm pretty good at that, you know. And I think
What just gets to me is that it feels a little overwhelming with all the things that you can do in Magic. It's like,
oh, absolutely, yeah.
what do you do? What do you, okay,
Normally
you pick a
normally
color and you're like, okay, can I do this with this color? It's like, yes, but you don't have all the
I
cards.
think yeah, I think that making a commander deck is a lot more engaging and interesting because you can find a commander who has a neat ability and then center everything around that ability, right? Whereas when you're like making just like a normal like standard like deck to play in alchemy or something, you the cards kind of have to you have to kind of like work your way backwards with like the abilities and stuff. Like you kind of have to like start from nothing. With choosing a commander, you can choose one that's got an insanely cool ability and then just work from there, you know? Um,
Yeah,
but one of the series I've been watching um, to really like familiarize myself with magic stuff is well, it's a channel Skill Check. It's like Moist Critical's Magic the Gathering channel.
what a nerd.
He's a nerd, but they have a series where they're going through every single Magic the Gathering set in random order and doing like a box opening of it and then making decks out of those boxes and then doing like a 4 player commander game, and it's been a lot of fun. I've watched a few of them now. But it's like a like little bit of like a Magic the Gathering history lesson on like the different sets. I didn't know there's 94 of them, but that makes sense considering they put like 5 out a year or some shit.
They do, like, I mean, between the core sets and then the
Yeah.
specialized sets and the
Yeah.
crossover sets, and it's like, yeah, they've been going for a long time.
I also saw that at the end of this year they're doing a Final Fantasy crossover set, and I kind of really want to like fucking see that. That's really cool.
That's
I want a Cloud card. I want Sephiroth card. Oh man. But
what color would Cloud be?
Cloud, well they already showed his card. He's like I think he's like white, red, and black?
Makes sense.
I think he's white, red, and black.
Black as well.
I
Interesting.
think so. It kind of makes sense though,
I would
because
have put
like
Sephiroth with
Seph
like black red.
I think Sephiroth is black, red, white, if I would have guessed, because he kind of has like the, oh no, he's probably green over red, because of the earth and stuff and life.
Mm,
Sephiroth is all about like that. We were going to become one with Genova, one with Earth, Earth over everything. Waha, my mom is the Earth, type shit. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII in years, so I don't remember the exact lore.
um, Nobody tells Sephiroth that corporations are drilling his mom.
That's exactly what he stabbed Shinra. He killed him. You mean he already knew that?
Fair.
um,
I never got that deep into Final Fantasy lore, honestly. It's all very big.
I mean, neither have I. I beat 7 years ago, and I played a bit
This
of 10. I liked 10 a lot, but then I got to like probably what I would consider a third of the way in the game if I were guessing. And then I just kind of like got burnt out of RPGs at the time and stopped playing. But I would love to go back to it one day and beat it because it was a lot of fun and I liked the characters a lot.
because like, what was it? Final Fantasy Advent Children?
Yes,
Or
that's
Final
the
Fantasy 15, I would say.
yeah.
Not even Advent Children.
Advent Children's the movie.
Hmm. This is the only Final Fantasy I've played, so it's like,
You've only played 15?
yeah, I've never played any other Final
Oh, you
Fantasy
need to
game.
play Final Fantasy 7.
And I do love Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, if you like Final Fantasy 15, then honestly, one day you should play the Final Fantasy 7 remake because it kind of plays more like this.
Is the turn-based thing is what put me off of Final Fantasy for so long, like why I
Yeah,
wouldn't play them.
I
And then on
think
top of that, it's like it's the camping trip with the boys.
it is a camping trip with the boys.
The gayest camping trip ever.
I think the guy with the glasses looks too much like Gavin Free made into an anime character at times. For my taste. Uh, but yeah, I see why this
That's
one's your favorite. This
intense.
is like fucking. This is like DMC, you know.
Oh, shut up. Like this is
No, this one's good. This one's
that's
good.
if you played it, you would
Yeah,
understand.
I know. This one's good. I still also want to play Final Fantasy 16, the one that's like changes up the formula a bunch.
Like I I want to do this on stream at some point.
This would be a good stream game because it's a really long game, so you can get a lot of
It's
like
not.
really long streams out of it.
It doesn't feel like a long game.
One of the
I'll
fights
be
in this
honest,
game is
like
like several hours
I've
long.
played and finished it, and as far as I know about Final Fantasy, like I knew somebody when I was little who had like the old Final Fantasies, like 8 or something.
Hmm.
They came with like 6 discs.
Oh yeah, no, Final Fantasy Seven's in 3 discs, and one of those discs is literally just like the ending.
Like it was still, what was it, PlayStation 2 days?
PlayStation One.
No, this was when I'm talking about what I saw.
Oh yeah,
Like it was 4 discs or something on PlayStation 2.
that must have been. I'm pretty sure the first PS2 one was Final Fantasy 10, unless it was 9. Maybe 9 might have been the PS2, but I don't imagine 9 being fucking 4 discs. I can imagine Final Fantasy 10 being 6 discs or 4 discs, whatever the fuck. That game is huge. Actually, can you
Maybe
Google
it
real
was
quick?
10 then.
Google which Final Fantasy 9, because I know Final Fantasy 10 was a PS2 game, but I don't know about Final Fantasy 9.
Final Fantasy 9.
It was a PlayStation 1. So this one, yeah, this is a PlayStation 1 game. So that means you must have been talking about Final Fantasy 10.
Like I don't know, it was just a whole different time, and it was just madness to me that this game was on so many discs. But then I looked at it and it was like this is like a top down, like no graphics, like
It's just so much content.
I
There's just
realized.
so much stuff in Final Fantasy games.
But I liked 15.
I want to play 7 on stream so bad, but I kind of want to give it more time since my first playthrough, even though it's already been like 5 years.
But the story doesn't have like anything to do with itself.
What do you mean? Like they
Like
like they're not sequels to each other? As you mean?
yeah, they
Yeah,
take they it's not
they're
even
all
that they're not
self-contained.
sequels, it's like they also don't take place in the same worlds.
Yeah, no, they're all in their own universes except for ones that are explicitly sequels to itself, like Final Fantasy X-2 and Final Fantasy I think
Because I
13
mean,
2.
there's
Just
also the movie Spirits Within, which
that,
had
yeah,
nothing to do with any of the Final Fantasy movies.
yeah. I
It had
like
Steve Buscemi
Baldwin,
in it.
Stephen Buscemi, Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, Ving Rhames.
Oh my god. Then damn, that's a fucking wild ass time. Um, damn.
They're
Um,
always visually stunning. Like Final Fantasy is always visually stunning,
oh,
but
I love Final Fantasy's like art style so much, and like
I
every
think
single time it pops up, it's always so
maybe
good.
we've reached a point now where this has aged poorly.
Yeah, it's definitely aged, but it's also like still an
Impressive for its
aesthetic. It's
time.
absolutely impressive for its time, but it's still an aesthetic, you know? It's still like,
It's still kind of impressive for now,
yeah.
but it just there's certain points where you're like, wow, this has
He
aged.
looks like that one edited image of Jim Carrey, like where he's like doing the Grinch face. uh, yeah. Are we gonna watch
it's a
Spirits
bit
Within when we cover the video game when we're doing the video game movie bench when we get here? Because I would love. I think this one kind of counts as like a as like what
does
we're
it.
doing. It kind of does though, because it's its own original story. It's not a game adapted.
Yeah, but it's also not live action.
This is true, but we're also covering like the Super Mario movie from 2023 and the Angry Birds movie, which are animated.
No, you're only forcing me to do
But no,
those.
they count though because they're video game movies. They count though. They count
I
in
mean,
every
then we
way.
gotta go and watch all of the Resident Evil
But no,
movies.
those are canon to the games, or at least semi-canon to the games. Those are video game movies. What we're watching are video game adaptations.
What's the one with 15? There was a movie with 15 as
I'm sure
well.
there was.
There was.
There always is
Kingsglaive.
now. Kingsclave, yeah. Because like there are
And
a
then,
ton
there
of
is Advent Children as well,
yes
which if you've never
is
played the games, imagine watching Advent Children never having played a Final Fantasy game.
insane.
That's me. That
God,
is actually
I
me.
want to
Like
watch that.
I've watched like Advent Children.
Aaron
It's a wild
Paul?
trip. Yeah. Sean Bean.
Sean, I didn't even see him there.
Yeah, Sean Bean.
Oh my god, that's crazy. You know what else is crazy?
If it's Sean Bean that plays the king, he doesn't die in the movie as far as I know, but he dies in the game.
He dies in the game. He dies for real.
He
Um,
does.
we want actually.
Hasn't been
I'm gonna completely move topics here because I want to talk about Elon being bullied again. Um, so this time,
Elon.
he was streaming. I believe he was streaming. He was streaming Path of Exile 2 again. Or 3. Path of Exile 3. What
Why?
game are we on again?
Lucky
Is it Path of Exile
two.
3? 2? Alright, 2. Um, so this is from a couple weeks ago. I think it's from April 9th. So this is old. I meant to mention this last episode, but I forgot to. Someone named Elon Musk is a pedophile joined the game chat, and Elon didn't know how to ban it. And he said, "You will
You will
have no real
always
friends, and
feel.
you will die."
It's the second message
You will
there that
die alone.
kills me. You will always feel insecure and it will never go away. And I can just imagine like Elon dying inside as that.
Elon, how is it possible that to look this dumb and ugly? Why is your Tesla company falling apart? Ha 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 ha! Ha, what happened, buddy?
What happened, buddy?
And this one's from HC John Wick.
That is a headshot right there.
There's a lot of R slurs in the chat. It says Musk. They love saying I don't know if we can even say it. I'm gonna stop saying it on YouTube, but they love saying it now. They just love saying it. They've been saying it ever since the inauguration. It's kind of funny. Like, we can say slurs now. I don't know. I meant to mention this last week, and it was very funny. He's just getting cyberbullied, and his stupid fucking webcam in the corner. It
It
looks like
just looks
it looks
so
like he's on a
bad.
plane. Okay.
It just looks so bad. But
Please jerk off Mr. Trump so he dies of a heart attack.
God.
Oh, it's so good.
But it does bring me to the Elon Musk baby making.
Yes,
Uh,
I completely forgot about this.
Elon Musk. It's not. So the story is kind of breaking now, like
Hmm.
people talking about it. But it's like Musk having been known for putting all these kids and all these women, giving them funny names. And then it's like, oh shit, the news just broke. You won't believe. And it's like, did Elon Musk have another baby mama? It's like,
He
no.
failed at it.
Apparently, he's got an entire system of baby mamas who he
Oh,
slides into the
wow.
DMs of like on like his website, Twitter.
I thought this was already public knowledge that he had like a whole factory of system of churning out
No, but like
babies.
apparently he's got like this right hand man who, when he sleeps with
Mr.
these women,
Goon.
this right hand man and his like personal business management team. And when I say personal business, I mean like they literally manage his various family members.
Oh my god.
So he sleeps with these women, he gets them pregnant, and then his team go in and then force them to sign NDAs and
Oh
stuff.
my
Like
god.
the real answer to how many babies / how many baby mamas does Elon have is We don't know because they've
Indefinite.
all signed like
Oh my.
NDAs.
This is breeder cult. This is like shit
Yes,
that like
yes.
I'm surprised the Nazis themselves didn't do. You know?
He apparently bought like a compound in Texas somewhere where he wanted all his baby mamas to live.
Oh my god.
And Grimes
Cult
was like,
behavior.
no.
Cult behavior. This is
No, he called his
I'm gonna
children
buy
Legion. Like he literally refers
We
to all of
are
his children as
Legion.
Legion.
Literally going to go buy the fucking Mount Carmel off of fucking David Koresh's burnt corpse in fucking Waco and be like, I'm gonna finish what you started.
But it was just like the story of what really struck me was like, yeah, he worked with some of these women and like he was their boss and all of this stuff. But then there's ones where it's like, oh, right wing
Influencers.
minuscule nobody influencer.
Yeah.
You know, he slides into their DMs and he's like, "Will you have my babies?"
I've
And
been
it's
looking
like,
at your
"What? Who?
photos for
What,
5 hours now.
who are you?
Oh, and the best part is his dick doesn't
Weird,
work.
freaky little man."
The best part is his dick doesn't work. He has to artificially inseminate all these people. That's the best part. Oh god, he's so fucking pathetic. He's so pathetic.
Oh,
He's literally like he's like a fucking 17th century Habsburg like royal. That's
he's
the
worse than them.
He is worse than them
They
because
only fuck their
he has Twitter.
cousins.
He has. I'm
They only
convinced.
fuck their
You know
cousins.
there were stories of like Louis the 18th or the fuck I don't know their names. I forget that fucking Charles the 8th or some shit like that. I think it was. I think they were the Habsburgs were the Charleses, right? I think it was like Charles the 8th or some shit. The one who was the most inbred. When he died, they cut him open and everyone was like fucking puking at the smell of his body because of how just like awful his organs were from the inbreeding. I feel like that's gonna happen when Elon dies and they autopsy him and stuff. Just just
Uh,
like the foul stench of like the underworld creeps up out of him. Oh my
don't
god.
even.
But yeah, Elon's pathetic. Um, but I kind of want to like rush through another news topic here because this one's actually kind of important.
Yes.
So back during the first few days, I think it's actually literally the first day of Trump's presidency, his second term. Um, he signed an executive order that stated that there was a crisis at the border and that if the crisis was not fixed within 90 days he would enact. Yeah, so the Insurrection Act of 1807 is a form of martial law in a way. um, so uh, yeah, he said the deadline for that report is April 20th, which is this Sunday, Easter. Within a less than a week from now, here's what we know. As of April 16th, when this article was written, the Department of Defense or Homeland Security neither of them have said anything about this. They have not given any official statement. Um,
Right.
Trump uh, memorandum instructing Department of Interior to permit the Department of Defense to militarize and assume control of the Roosevelt Reservation along the southern border. This is the Roosevelt Reservation here. It's San Diego to the like El Paso here. I think this is El Paso. Or is El Paso like here? I forget. I think El Paso's here. San Diego to El
I don't think
Paso.
El Paso's there.
I'm pretty sure El Paso's
I
there.
know I'm not the American, but I'm pretty sure.
Hold on, let me just open this up on a different screen.
Oh goodness.
Holy shit, I am so fucking goated. I am so smart. El Paso is right there. So yeah, this is the bit from San Diego to El Paso. Um, the Insurrection Act of 1807 is a federal law that empowers the president to deploy the U.S. military and National Guard to spread insurrectionists and domestic violence. So it's martial law essentially, and he's going to use this to because
Consolidate power.
the Insurrection Act typically is used in local areas. Like it is being used here also in local areas. Like this border is going to be where this is concentrated. It was last used in the LA riots, but
But
they're gonna do it again, and
the
they're
thing
gonna use it
with
as a pretext nationwide. I'm sure.
the thing with this though, right, is that this basically gives him the power to circumvent normal law time,
Yeah.
like peacetime laws and stuff. He's
Yes.
already doing that. He's snatching people off the street who are like
Yes. We'll talk about that one in a second.
basically
But
American
yeah.
citizens.
Yeah. Um, this is going to be
Like this,
used
like
if this does
this
go
is just
through.
consolidation of power.
If this does go through, there is a solid chance that the entire country will be subjected to martial law, which has never happened in American history, I think, ever, where the entire nation was subject to martial law. Very few countries have had that happen, where the entire nation is under martial law. Um, so if that, I feel like it'll be used as a stepping stone to get to that point, if not just outright the entire nation's under martial law. We'll have to see what happens. There's really no way of knowing what's going to happen uh, in this coming days. All I'm saying is that within a year, the entire world's situation is going to look a lot different than what it looks like right now.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. In a year, we are going to be living in a completely different world. We kind of already are from where we were 5 months ago.
Mm.
Just like kind of a crazy kooky
Like world
situation.
trade is changing.
Yeah, we have like no fucking allies now anymore as America either. Like,
I don't really want to dive deep on the tariffs, but there is something I heard recently that really proves how much the world is changing,
yeah.
and that is China's latest reaction to the hiked tariffs.
Was it the Mao Zedong stuff?
No, no, the stuff of like they see the American tariffs now being raised again as an actual just like ha ha joke,
Oh yeah,
and
I
they're
saw
not
that.
raising their tariffs in
I
retaliation
saw
because
that,
they're
yeah.
like nobody's buying American stuff here anyway already at the tariff rate. Hiking tariffs is not going to make them stop doing what they're already
that's
stopped doing.
that's the funniest part of all of this
Like
is it's like nobody buys American
fine,
goods.
fine,
There's nothing to
tariff
be
us at
gained
like 500%, 600%. We're not going to be responding anymore because nobody buys your stuff.
here.
Like America doesn't have that luxury.
No. It's like, oh, there's just so many million issues wrong with the tariffs that like you can just tell that it's the goal of them is to destabilize the country. That's the goal of them. Like
Well, success there.
there's no sane reason as to why they're being pushed forward. There's no way that the people in power right now are genuinely thinking that this can fix the economy. That's not on their mind. And I think anyone who sincerely believes that
But
the
it was
Trump
insider
administration,
trading, right?
yeah, it is. It's done like this so that when the economy collapses, like five people can buy up everything now that everything is gone and they're the only
Yeah.
ones with money. That's what the point of this
They
is.
they have the systems in place to fuck over the poor, fuck over the lower class, fuck over the middle class, but they don't really have
No, even
the like the
at this point,
systems.
at this point, it's fucking over the upper class too, and then even like
That's what
the
I'm
upper
saying.
class.
Is
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Is like they have all the systems in place to fuck over those people already. Now they want to get more
Oh my
money
bad.
out
Yeah.
because they can only squeeze so much money out of the poor
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
So now they need to start squeezing money out of the upper class that isn't the super rich.
Yeah. Like,
Because we don't just have an upper class anymore.
now they're
It's
going
no
after
longer
like
like
businesses that
upper
operate in a
class
few
nobility.
states. They're going after businesses that like, maybe it's like a big online business or something. They're going after things that they want to buy up. You know. They're going after things that they can
Yeah.
to use to get the resources of and expand themselves. It's just like it's a buyout plan. Like they
I
want to buy
just
out everyone. It's so grim, but also like I'm kind of hoping that it gets so bad that there has to be some
this is
pushback.
going to screw over so many people
It's going
that
to screw
are
over like
rich.
everyone.
This is going to screw over the rich,
This is going
not
to
the
screw
super
over
rich,
everyone.
because
uh,
the super rich are still benefiting.
yeah, this is like the 1% of the 1% is still happy and good, you know?
Yes,
They're supporting the tariffs, which I want to also
and
add. This is also a very new thing in the past in American history. Whenever a president would put forward tariffs, the business oligarchs and fucking aristocrats would always oppose the tariffs because they understood economics back then. And nowadays,
yes,
everyone gets their money on the fake stock market where nothing is real. So it doesn't matter how good the economy does; they'll still get their money from the stock market.
yes, but it's not like It's not like 90% of those corporations, because it used to be the problem of, oh, the corporations do control the American government,
Yeah.
right? Like through lobbyists, through like
Yeah.
various sources, but those don't matter anymore because it's only the top 10% of the 1%
Yeah.
that are now in control. Like everybody else is also now on the chopping block.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter anymore.
No, no, it doesn't matter at all. It's it's a lot of madness, really. Like, it just, oh my god, there's just, it's kind of like incomprehensibly stupid in the position we are now, where we have like a whole country of people who elected a fucking dumbass Nazi on the promise of the economy
Felon.
getting better, and felon rapist too, who then also gets into power and then crashes the economy, and people aren't instantly going to the White House and like breaking down the doors. Like, if this happened in any other country, there would be non-stop protests. Like, if this happened in Greece, if this happened in France, if this happened in fucking like Japan, or like maybe not South America. I was gonna say a South American country, but I think those people kind of elect their presidents expecting economic crashes to happen.
Yeah, but like Japan feels like a weird example to me
I'm
because
just throwing out a country.
Japan is a democratically elected authoritarian
This
state.
is true, but I'm mostly just throwing out countries where they have like where people actually care about things, you know? Like,
That
if this
makes
happened, yeah,
sense.
if this happened, because like countries like Greece, they fucking riot over nothing, right? They rioted the other month over like the government uh, covering up a train crash that happened. It was a pretty bad train crash and killed a bunch of students and stuff. But like, can you imagine like Americans going on mass protests across the country for the government like covering up a train crash? They don't
I
even
mean,
protest when fucking like the president becomes a dictator in front of everyone's eyes.
well, they are
They are
protesting,
protesting, but like not like how the Greeks were for the train crash. Literally everyone
and
in
there's like
Athens
the
like
whole
got out of their house and
Bernie
was protesting.
the like like national tour.
That's not really a protest though. That's like, that's different. That's a different sorts of like this. That's like a rally. You know, that's like a political like rally building up movement and stuff. Like, there's not really protest there. Protest is more like everyone gets the fuck out of their home and goes and marches down the road and protests outside the city government or some shit, or like state government. You know, which there has
Yeah,
been a lot of that. Even in like some red states, there's been a lot of that. Um, but I need like every single American to just like disavow Trump right now and then like go out and protest in DC.
but there's still a lot of people who are like pro-Trump
Oh,
right
you know,
now.
70% of the Republican Party is still pro Trump. 70%, like, or
But I
something
mean,
like that.
like
That's the
people
last
on the
number I saw.
ground. I'm not talking about like party affiliated. Like,
No, 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 that's what I mean. 70% of Republicans, as in 70% of the people who answered the poll and said they were Republican, like the of the people who answered the poll and said they were Republican, 70% of them support Trump. This was like
it's
a,
so weird to
yeah.
me that citizens on the ground consider themselves part of a particular party. Like, I know it's kind of common throughout the entire world. It's not just an American thing, but just that mindset is so like fucked to
Hmm.
me.
Yeah, it's kind of something that's like it's kind of like not uniquely American, but it's very much a part of American politics. Is that like, I am a part of my party, like I am a member of the Republican Party. I vote for them every election. It's part of the team sports dynamic that's kind of led American
Yeah,
politics to become completely fucked. Like, in a country like Germany, you have like people who support like the the CDU, and people who support,
it's policy driven.
yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, maybe I support, like, maybe I was like a huge fan of Angela Merkel back in the day, and but like, I don't know, Olaf Schultz has been pretty meh. I'm gonna vote for Die Linke this year or some shit, you know. Um, I don't know why I didn't
Yeah,
mean to
but I think
say.
it's also the two-party
I know
system
Merkel
in the
and
US
Schultz are
that
different
lends
parties.
itself to that.
Yeah, that's another part of it too. Like, I think the only comparable country that does this is the UK, because the UK has the same kind of brain poisoning that we do. Um, us in the UK. Also, I want to clarify. I know Merkel and Schultz are two different parties. I kind of had a. I'm a little lightheaded today. I'm not an idiot when it comes to foreign politics. Um, I am an idiot, but not that much of an idiot. But yeah, the UK has a very similar brain poisoning to us. Um, they They have the same. I mean, I think it's us rubbing off on them. Like, you know, like like they're in the retirement home, and we're like the abusive grandson who comes in to take care of them, but they also don't really do a good job at it. And they kind of like, you know, they bring grandma a couple like cigarettes in the retirement home and all that. That's kind of us with the UK, I feel. Um,
Yeah, but it's also a product of how they like do their news cycle and all that. It's all still very like conservative driven.
oh, the UK is an incredibly conservative country, much more than America, considering the fact that they still have a fucking monarch that they revere and refuse to
Yeah,
get rid of.
but at least they don't treat their monarch like, you can still say fuck the queen if you want.
Not
Or
really
can
though.
you now?
Remember when the queen died and there was like fucking like people were protesting her like the funeral and everything and they were getting beat up by cops and shit and they it was just like normal. You kind of can't though.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're also not getting disappeared and their families
True.
disappeared, like the Chinese
True.
government, where you say something bad about Xi Jinping and suddenly it's like, we've heard what you said. You and your entire family are going away.
This is true. This is true. Um uh but yeah, I mean there are other countries in the world. Like I feel like a good example of a country that has a monarchy but is still managed to be progressive is Spain. Spain's not perfect, but Spain's honestly pretty progressive. I remember last night we were looking at, or was it last night or 2 nights ago that we were looking at like countries
A couple of nights ago.
that we were like looking at countries that allowed same sex marriage and stuff. Spain was one of the first um
Yeah, in modern
in
times.
modern times, and like they also have pretty good transgender rights and stuff. That Spain's a pretty progressive country, and they have a monarch who's pro Palestine, by the way.
I don't know.
Very interesting. Also, I'm pretty
Weird
sure he
country.
donated his entire treasury to the country or something like that, where he gave his like the royal family's money to the nation's treasury, instead of it being his own personal thing. I'm pretty sure. I don't really remember that though. Maybe it wasn't the entire thing. Um, but yeah, like Spain manages to be a progressive country while having a monarch, so the UK really has no excuse. Also,
For
Spain
them,
came.
it's cultural.
Spain also had a fucking dictatorship like 40 years ago, led by fucking Franco. The UK has no excuse for
Yeah.
being as awful as it is.
The thing is that it's cultural.
That's fair. In the
It's
Mediterranean,
the
the
we
like
are the
attitude.
empire
Yeah,
mentality.
like
Like Spain,
the Spanish like
you
exist
know,
along with the Italians and the Greeks and like the North Africans and stuff with like very familial like Mediterranean like kind of living. You
but
know.
remember, Spain had its period of time where it was also playing empire,
Yeah, like
and
lot.
then I think
Yeah,
it was a war with England
yeah. That
that
was
just
the
completely kneecapped them.
this.
And then
Yeah,
since then, they were like, you know what? Maybe this like whole empire thing's a little bit much.
that was the 70 Years' War, I think, with Elizabeth and shit in the Spanish Armada because it was at
Sinking, yeah,
yeah.
sinking the Spanish Armada.
Yeah, Spain went its through its decline in like the 1800s. The 17 and 1800s is mainly the 1800s is when Spain was on its major decline. Um, and that's the kind of decline that the UK is going through right now. Um, so maybe that's also part of it. France is funny because France really kind of was able to escape that decline by just having the decline happen all at once 5 different times.
They do their whole thing every now, like quite often. You
they
think about
they
like just French
they're
sentiment.
on their fifth republic, right? I think so.
Who knows?
Fifth. I think it's fifth because the first was the one that was overthrown by Napoleon. The second was overthrown by Napoleon the third. Then
Napoleon.
then the third one was overthrown by the Nazis, and then the fourth one broke after Charles de Gaulle did something dumb in Algeria or something. I think in the 70s. Um, and then that's also around the time they left NATO. They left NATO. Charles de Gaulle broke the Fourth Republic. They came back in the Fifth Republic in the 90s. I didn't really know that France left NATO in like the 60s. They left because Charles de Gaulle was like anti-American and like pro-European and like just wanted to stay in Europe. But then also didn't like that NATO existed, so he left it, crashed the Fourth Republic, and then in the 90s, like 1991 or something, they rejoined. I thought that was interesting. Um, but I think I don't really know where we were going with that conversation anyway. I kind of forgot where that started
Neither
from.
do I. Kind of. That kind of went past me. I did just kind of wake up, so
Yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about. Anyway, you mentioned earlier that Trump has been disappearing people and just arresting people off the street, and we have an update
yes.
on this. So we haven't really talked about it on the podcast because there's been a lot of stories, and this is one that we talked about Mahmoud Khalil, but we did not talk about the guy from Maryland,
Abrego
Garcia, yeah,
Garcia.
Abrego Garcia. So ICE deported Abrego Garcia. Was he born in America or was he just an American citizen?
He was, as far as I understand, a citizen but wasn't born.
Okay, so he's a U.S. citizen. He's a legal citizen. He was here legally and did not do anything wrong.
Like he had gone through the processes, signed the dots, dot the T's, crossed
Yes,
the
and
I's,
ICE
all of
deported
that.
him anyway. Uh,
Because he was vaguely brown.
yeah. Wait, hold on. This is about Venezuela. This is the Venezuelan deportations. Oh, so this one isn't even about Garcia. I was under the impression that this one was held over the
No.
okay, hold
This is
on.
just in general,
So this
separate from the
okay, this one's
already other
separate.
fucked situation.
So
This is kind of the fucked thing, is that it's not even one thing.
okay, so this is the CNN one. Judge in Abrego Garcia case says there's no evidence Trump administration is following her orders. Okay, so this is a different one. So this is the one we were just talking about. Our Abrego
Did you
Garcia.
see the response from the president of Venezuela who met with Trump the other day?
I did not see that. No,
So do you know what he says?
what he said.
They asked him directly, like, "Hey, listen, there's this American citizen that you're holding who's not a terrorist and who's not a anything bad, is not a gang member or anything. Would you bring him back?" And his answer was, "Well, you see, I'm not going to be smuggling terrorists into the United States." It's like, wait, but he's.
He's
It's
not
like
a
truth
terrorist.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is one of
So
those things where it's like truth doesn't matter. He apparently, I saw Woo's at Carolyn Levitt, who said she described him as a born terrorist, and I'm just like, wait, 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 wait,
that's
wait,
just
wait, wait, wait,
Nazism.
wait. You're
Uh,
just calling him a terrorist now because he's not a white American born here, like
yeah.
redneck.
Um,
Like,
so yeah, Abrego Garcia was sent to El Salvador with Bukele and his old fucking concentration camp down there, and then the court ordered him back, and Trump is refusing it. And I thought that this was in relation to that, but this one was in relation to the Supreme Court case that was like 9-0. That was like the Venezuelan deportation situation thing was illegal. You can't invoke the Alien Enemies Act for fucking like a criminal group. They have to be an enemy at war. We're at war with. So the federal judges said, "Wait, is this one about the Supreme Court case? There's so many fucking things that I'm just so confused. Which one was that support case for? The Supreme Court
I don't know. I've been trying to keep up, but
9-0.
honestly, it's like one story over another.
No, the president has not defied a Supreme Court ruling. Thank you, the free press.
Yeah,
Um,
but they voted 9-0 against him, and he's going out there and saying like they voted 9-0 for him.
I believe it was this
Like
one.
truth doesn't matter
It's
anymore.
this one, right? The Brego Garcia night from 410.
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't. Like I'm only kind of able to follow some of it anymore because truth doesn't matter because
Yes.
you hear the left ask the question like, "Hey, this not terrorist hairdresser person, will you release him from your country?"
Yeah. So yeah, White House
And it's like,
advisor.
"I will not be putting terrorists, I will not be smuggling terrorists into the United States." It's like, but in the question, we just clarified that he's not a terrorist.
Wait,
And what the fuck are you talking?
Stephen Miller saying that it was 9-0 in our favor. I thought the 9-0 decision was
Yes, that's why
against.
I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Oh my god, I'm so confused. The fucking
That's what they
oh my
want.
god. Oh my goodness gracious. Here, BBC. Supreme Court rules Trump officials must facilitate release of the man deported to El Salvador. So yes, the Supreme Court said unanimously, you need to make sure this man is released from El Salvador, and Trump said no.
Yeah.
And this one is just like, all right,
But
we're not gonna do anything about it.
according to what I've heard from like the White House sources, according to them, facilitating his release does not actually mean doing the release.
Yeah, yeah,
They just need to they're playing the word game here.
yeah, yeah. They're doing
So
semantics.
he's like, no, we are like listening to Supreme Court. We
Yeah,
are going to facilitate, but we're not bringing him into the country, and we're not
yeah,
asking the president of that country to bring him in either. And if you ask the president of that country, he just says, "Well, we're not smuggling terrorists into the USA," and it's like, but none of this is real anymore.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just it hurts me
So then
like mentally
this
on
one
my
is in
soul.
relation to Boasberg, the like the not. I don't think Boasberg isn't Supreme Court. I don't fucking know at this point. I don't think Boasberg's a Supreme Court member. I thought they were. I'm just so confused. Yeah, because it would have said Supreme Court Judge Boasberg. Yeah, Judge Boasberg says there's probable cause for criminal contempt over the Venezuelan deportations. They said that the deportations to Venezuela were unlawful because of a whole bunch of stuff that happened. This was like very early. This was back in like February, and there could be some action here that Trump is in contempt of court. There'll be nothing. Maybe this Boasberg will be fucking disappeared. Oopsie.
Yeah, but I mean, have you heard about the other Palestinian who was also like taken away?
What's her name?
And the worst part is, I don't remember his name, but what
Oh,
happened was is that they interviewed, or he was going to his naturalization interview,
right.
and they picked him up there.
Oh my God.
And apparently, his interview was scheduled specifically so that they could go pick him up there. So they were entrapping him.
Yes, the ICE is the Gestapo. They are
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are without any exaggeration actually fucking like Nazi secret police. They are plain clothes. They get people unlawfully. They fucking they get people who are they're legal American citizens. They're deporting them. They're disappearing them. It's only a matter of time before they go after people who aren't even immigrants, and it's just people who are born in this country, like people who are born here from immigrant parents, or people who are just born here and have been here. Their families have been here for years and years and years and years and years, and they're going to start deporting them because they're critical of the Trump administration. It's not going to be too long until we start seeing public figures get disappeared from news outlets, judges getting disappeared, immigration
Here we
lawyers getting
go.
disappeared. We're going to see this happen. We're going to see this shit happen.
Mohsen Madawi.
Mohsen Madawi.
Yeah. Student activist
Where's he? What
arrested by
school?
ICE at his citizenship appointment.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there was another one too that I saw that like student visas were being randomly denied by schools and stuff, just out of nowhere. And Columbia University, he's an undergraduate there. Yes, he's on fucking Columbia University. Columbia University has like bent the knee
Green
completely to
card
Trump.
holder, permanent resident, lived in the US for more than 10 years, but he's from Palestine.
Yeah. So they're
And so they're like,
yeah,
we're going to send you back home to be shot by the IDF.
yeah. Um, and like Columbia University has completely bent the knee to the Trump administration, but Trump just hates Columbia, so he's still punishing them anyway. Literally some cat o' nine tails, fucking self-flagellation shit.
But he's also like going to war with like Harvard and the
Yes, because
other Ivy Leagues. You see,
Harvard
all of these
refused.
things they compound, right? Like he's going against everybody everywhere all the time.
Yeah,
He's kneecapping every fucking institution. Whether it's like, and what does the president really have to say about tertiary education? He's trying to shut down the education department, but then he also wants to say like you're supposed to do education our way,
yeah,
as the federal government says, which is what the education department is there for in the first place. And it's like so many things are happening. This hurts me. I hate it all.
yeah. Like the Harvard was supposed to get rid of their DEI hiring initiatives and their like woke programs and stuff, and Harvard said no, and now Harvard isn't getting their like federal funding, and it's actually kind of like like one of the biggest acts of defiance against Trump, because normally, like when Trump has said something, a lot of these places have just went, yeah, we'll do it for you. Why not? But
Yeah.
Harvard actually went and
But have
said
you heard
no.
about the they are going to be checked out to be they're being told to hire along diverse thought,
Yeah,
which just basically means hire more white supremacists.
yeah. They're basically like, you are
They
going to
want
be found
DEI
as racist if
hires.
you're not hiring enough white conservatives.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly it. You're basically being seen as, oh, you can't make DEI hires, but you have to make hires of our people
yeah,
that we want.
yeah. It's
So they want
it's
their own
it's
DEI
literally, yeah, it's
version.
racism. It's just racism. Um, it's fucking. It's very transparent what's happening. And it sucks. Uh, and it's good to see like Harvard, like which you would expect to just fall in line because it's a fucking rich ass school with rich ass people going there, but they actually stood against them, which to me signals that people really, really, really don't like Trump. What's his approval rating at right now? Because I'm sure it's like overranked or some shit. Trump approval rating tracker. I want the one that's like pretty much like a live update. The Economist, I think, is the one that I normally use. Yeah, this one. So, according to The Economist, Trump is minus 10 points below his lowest in his original term. I think this is no
Wow.
days in office. Sorry, days in office. At this point in his original term, he is lower than where he was. He's far lower than where Biden was, and he's far far lower than where Obama was. But the overall numbers are 42% approval rating, 52% disapproval rating, and then 6% who are actually functionally brain dead. Um,
I
so
don't know, 48% seemed brain dead to me.
in 52%? Oh, 42%, sorry. 42% over here. Yeah, 52%, baby.
48.
Yep.
48.
Oh, because you're including these people. I'm
Yes, they're all
stupid.
brain dead.
I'm stupid. Well, I feel like this is more brain dead because you don't know? You don't know? Oh my god.
Yeah, but anything other than
But these people,
disapprove.
these people are people who voted for him anyway. So I mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah, it's a huge swing. Um, yeah, I want to see if there's probably another one here that I can. This one another? Nah, there's like one that has like a nice graph that I really like that was comparing it. Yeah, let's see this one maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, this kind of shows it. So the disapproval rating, he's got like a huge disapproval spike here when the tariffs stuff happened. This is February 2nd. This is when the announcements for the tariffs were, and then we have like last week, and we have like just yesterday, or just the other day. We have like yesterday. Yeah, the only time his approval rating was above his disapproval rating was back in March, or at least that's for the last. Oh, this is Oh wait, this is the approval rating of his job. So like some people think how well he's doing as a president. Whatever. How's the economy doing?
Um,
Oh God, it opened. It just keeps dropping. Oh God. Oh wow, it's ooh, here was that huge drop from the other week, the really funny one, and then it picked back up, and then it's just dropping again. Last 5 days, it opened up today just as a drop. Um, yeah, no, it's last month. Just oh wow, year to date. And last year, would you look at that? Oh God. It's gonna drop below what it was a year ago, which is actually kind of insane. Like the stock market going in a year going up and then falling all the way back down to below where it was a year ago is kind of not good. It's
no,
pretty bad. Um so like this is such a like people really aren't understanding how much of a fall this is. Like
it's
yeah,
massive. It's
like this is
absolutely
this
massive.
is this is a sheer drop off. Like this is a sheer cliff. Like over here, like yeah, the stock market falls over here, and like there was a big was a big thing here. This is from the hurricanes. Like it falls, but typically it falls because of like things in the economy that are natural, or like more
Unavoidable.
avoidable. Yeah, like this was a hurricane. Like this, when this fell over here, this was natural disasters, and stuff. Or it's like world events that change it. Like I know the Russian-Ukraine war caused a huge drop in the stock market. This was entirely caused because of decisions by the president. Like this is entirely because of tariffs. This is entirely because people are untrustworthy of Trump's presidency. This has nothing to do with the natural courses of the economy. This is a sheer drop off. This is a bullet to the brain. How is the S&P doing? Where's the button? This one. How is this one doing? Better. It's doing better, but it's still not good. It's not as much as a sheer drop off as the Dow. Yeah. How is the VIX looking? The VIX is the fear one. I don't really know how to read this one, but what people are scared. And then I also want to check CNN's fear and greed index. So fear is at a 21 right now. We're in the extreme fear. Back when the tariffs hit, we were at like 9. So, oh God. Oh God, yeah. Though, just looking at it, whenever you see it, it's just so funny.
It's hard to. I don't even have the brain space for this shit anymore. Honestly, this shit breaks me.
All right. Want to talk about something a lot less brain damaging?
Please,
Hold on. I got a.
please.
Hold on, I got a random news article here, just now, just hot off the press too. Supreme Court to hear oral argument on whether Trump can implement birthright citizenship plan. So this will probably be something we talk about
You
next
mean the
week.
fact that he wants to take birthright citizenship?
Yes. So this will be something we talk about next week, whenever this situation is resolved. But here's a sneak peek. This is like the fucking post-credit scene. Um, is that anime AI? I'm gonna fucking click off of this. So I want to talk about iDubbbz, internet drama and
Internet
stuff.
drama,
So
right?
yeah, so iDubbbz, I think we've mentioned him like once before when we're talking about like content creators who have like reformed and stuff. iDubbbz used to be huge, edgy guy. I used to be iDubbbz.
What was it? Content cop?
Yes, so yeah. I used to be a huge fan of iDubbbz and Filthy Frank and all of them and each the H3 back in the day, like huge fans of them because I was an edgy little shit who was insufferable. But then I matured and grew, and most of these creators matured and grew. Filthy Frank went on to become Joe G and has a huge like music career, and he's huge. He's cool, makes music that's not only my thing, but it's good music, and people love him. So good for him. Max Mofo went on to do Cold One's podcast show and stuff, and then iDubbbz hosts Creator Clash and does like leftist video essay content and stuff now. And then H3H3 has his whole podcast stuff, right? Those people went off and did their own things. iDubbbz still to this day gets so much hate because iDubbbz has said he hated the community he created. He hates his fans. He hates the amount of hate he brought into the world. Because out of all these people, iDubbbz was definitely the most confrontational and provocative of them all because he would say the N-word on YouTube videos, call people horrible things. Was very loose with his language, made defenses of saying the N-word too and stuff, like really bad content, whereas like Filthy Frank was more so like, I'm gonna shit
A
on the
lot of
floor.
this.
Yes. Um
A lot of this.
yeah. But the thing that happened was whenever
And
when he started to say all this stuff about how much he hates his fan base, this is what he's like now.
yeah, but
He
he also looks like he shouldn't be allowed near schools.
This is kind of the thing. He does kind of look like a mess, but I think that's just kind of he just kind of looks like that. He just kind of looks like he's a mess. Um, it's because he always looks sweaty. He's a very sweaty guy. I don't know. I like iDubbbz. I don't really watch his content really anymore, but I kind of I respect that he was able to say, I fucking hate my fan base. But you can see like that video right there,
But then he
busted with
also
his face.
looks like this.
Then he
He
also
also
does look
does
like
the like.
he does look like that. But then you see that video pic thumbnail right there, the most deserved downfall. You have people like that who just hate iDubbbz because they used to like him back in the day, and they never grew out of being a racist, like, piece of shit dipshit. And they just hate him for that, and they hate that he has like a happy wife. That's what we're going to talk about in a second. So,
Topical.
so iDubbbz had a series called Content Cop. He removed all the videos that were uploaded to it because he hated them, and everyone was always asking for another Content Cop. I believe the last one he ever made was on Rice Gum, who's a fucking irrelevant YouTuber nowadays. I mean, to be fair, the videos he made about the people he made videos on, for the most part, deserved it. Keemstar, Leafy, Rice Gum. These were pretty fucking bad people. But like some of them were really undeserved videos, like Tanamongo, Manju, whatever the hell her name was, and stuff. Regardless, last night he posted a content cop on H3H3, who, like I said, was one of the people who I used to watch back in the day, and they were friends. H3H3 appeared in like a content cop of his own in the past as a guest star. I think it was for Leafy. And they did collaborations occasionally back in the day. And they're friends behind the scenes. So, what were you giggling about?
Fucking Leafy.
Oh,
Like
Leafy.
this is not the 2010s anymore.
I know,
Christ,
this is
what are we
so, it's
doing?
so funny.
What are
So,
we doing?
so H3H3, is had been having a crash out for like a year now. The two, H3H3 and Hassan, used to have a podcast called Leftovers. It was like lightly political. Wasn't lightly political, but it was political, but it didn't really get too far into it. You know, the most political activism they did was because Hassan has real political beliefs and all that, but Ethan is just kind of like a liberal and stuff. So like the most amount of like political shit they did was just make fun of right wingers online and stuff, and talk about how much they like Bernie. But when October 6th happened, Hassan got a lot of shit from Ethan and Hila for being pro-Palestine, and they claimed he wasn't being charitable enough to Israel and stuff. And then Hila is kind of a Zionist, which makes sense because she is from Israel and served in the IDF. Um, and then Ethan is just kind of like lashing out against literally everyone, and because of that, he tried going into iDubbbz's DMs to like force iDubbbz to make a claim about someone he used to like have as an employee, because there was former iDubbbz's editor was really mad at Ethan and Hila and saying stuff like mean, but because iDubbbz never said anything about it, Ethan was like trying to make him say that, and Ethan and iDubbbz is like, hey, if you're not going to listen to me in private, I'm going to make this public. You need to get help. Like, so, like, it just is. This is kind of like a big like internet history thing that like iDubbbz made a content cop. Like, also look at this like to dislike ratio. Like, this kind of perfectly encapsulates what I'm talking about by like people fucking hate iDubbbz.
Yeah.
This is an insane
It's
like to
still more
dislike
likes than
ratio.
dislikes.
Still more likes. This is an insane like to dislike ratio for a video that I think is actually good and deserved. H3 actually fucking sucks. He is like, Ethan's pretty charitable to him towards the end of this video. Like he has at the end of the video, he has people come on to say like, Ethan, we like you. Like, we don't think you're a bad guy. Please get help and stuff. But like, Ethan is a bad kind of, he's kind of like a bad guy. They bring up a point here in the video, the button.
Of all the things,
So a while ago, there was a streamer named Cutie Cinderella. She's one of the bigger female streamers who,
I've heard of them.
yes, she had like a bit on stream where she started, not bit, like it wasn't a bit, that implies it was like a joke, but she started crying on stream over, I think it was AI deepfake nudes of her. Like that whole scandal, I think, with Atrioc. That was a while ago. I forget what the specific thing was, but she was crying on stream over something that was related to like sexual harassment and sexual abuse. And Ethan was covering it and started fucking laughing on stream. I believe that's covered right here. Here. Let's mute that and just try to see if we can find a specific capture here. So here, Ethan is laughing at her while she's crying, and instead of growing and changing as a person, he spent a bunch of money to get a button he can hit that would temporarily take his stream down. Like, it would go to like a BRB screen that had music playing instead of just learning how to self-censor himself. And like, that's just so egregious. He's treated like a huge baby and stuff.
He is a
Um,
huge
he's a
baby.
fucking
As
huge
far as
baby.
I've seen, he generally just has like really dumb, stupid, fucking childish takes on shit.
He's a big baby. Like he treats his podcast like a big place to just vent his personal frustrations instead of like actual content. He like gets upset with coworkers live on his streams on and shit. Like he's a big baby, and then people like go, "Oh, he wasn't like oh, like whenever he said that really awful thing, he was just like going goblin mode, you know? It's not his fault. He's just a little baby. You can't get meanwhile it's like a fucking 50-year-old man with a kid. Like like you can't get away with that, you know? He's a fucking big baby. Also, I am a little biased because I remember back what the hell happened? Did I share the Discord connect
Um,
noise?
did I disconnect or did
I don't know what the hell
I think
happened.
I don't know. My Discord also froze up for a moment,
I don't know what that was. Um,
so that might be on my side.
no idea. We're having a lot of issues today. Um, but yeah, so um, what was I saying? Oh yeah,
He's a big baby.
I'm
He's
a
a
little
bastard.
biased because last year, I think it was early 2024. I think it was. Yeah, it was early 2024 when H3H3 went after Voshel, the generic, like not the generic, but like the stuff we've heard a million times if you've listened to Vosh streams for a bit. Like Vosh is a pedophile. Here's the clip from fucking 2019 that's out of context of him making an argument against pedophilia. Here's the clip where he was quoting someone else that he was debating who was pro pedophilia. Like here's all the fucking
Wasn't
out
there
of
also
con-
the taxes folder?
yeah, but that was like here's goblin porn, like goblin woman porn. It's pedophilia. Did you know that? Or here's a character who's like built like a brick shithouse, but it's canonically 17. But they look like an adult and they're treated like an adult. And then the porn they look like an adult. Vosh is a pedophile. Whoa! The worst thing he had in that folder was AI porn. That was the worst thing he had in that folder.
I mean, that's pretty egregious.
He said he didn't realize it because when you're jerking off, you don't realize what you're looking at sometimes, which is so fucking real. Which is so real. The worst part about that too is that he had it on his fucking computer, man. Like, really, porn on the computer? Really?
Some people like. He is older.
He is an
Comes from
old.
a time when
He's
you
an
can
old man.
download shit.
Yeah. I do like though that the folder was called taxes. That is that's kind of
What are
golden.
you doing? I'm just doing my taxes,
Because
if you
like
know what I
he never
mean.
had any intention of that getting seen to the world, so he just had that called that. That's the fucking funniest thing ever. Oh man, I love that. But yeah, like back then it was like Ethan turned it into like 5 streams of like let's take this guy down, and it was just like you guys
Yeah,
are
but
like
isn't
lying.
Ethan friends with people who have like more egregious shit than that?
Like yeah, I mean like Ethan himself is a controversial guy who said a lot of awful things in the past that could also be brought up against him if anyone wanted to make an uncharitable, out of context attack against him. But like, I guess he's just above the law. He's too good to do anything too
Yeah, but
bad.
he's also said awful things if you want to make like an accurate
Yeah, true.
context.
This is also true. This is also true. Um, I hate H3H3. Um,
I
I
always
hate
got a
him.
bad vibe off of them.
Yeah, like when whenever Hassan was on, like when Hassan joined for leftovers is when I kind of watched their content a bit. Not that much. I watched like one episode of the podcast, and I didn't even like it because I thought they were like really boring outside of it. But I liked Hassan. I still kind of like Hassan. Like I don't really watch his content ever, but I like Hassan as a person. I think he's like,
You
I think
think we're
he's.
gonna finally get that response from
I
Hassan?
hope Hassan comes on the podcast. Hassan,
You
hit
wouldn't
us
know
up.
what the fuck to do.
I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, holy shit, I gotta get my internet under control. I don't want to like have to fucking drop out a call with Hassan. That's so rude. That's so rude. I treat it like meeting the president, but like I don't really like just like the
What?
president. I don't fully respect him. You know? No, it's a joke. I actually respect Hassan more than any president. because Hassan is the hardest job in the world, which is being a Twitch streamer. Um, I mean that half jokingly. I
I know
cannot deal
you're
with
taking
chat.
you're stealing that joke from Bosch.
Well, no, I think Hassan said that. Hassan said his job was the hardest job in the world.
It's fair, but they both like have the same level of humor in my
Yeah.
many times.
Um,
Only like Vosh doesn't get up midstream and make other people watch other people's videos.
true. True. That's the one thing about Hassan that got me to stop watching him was the constant like just disrespect to react content type shit, you know? But I feel like recently there's been so much political stuff that he hasn't even done that, you know? I haven't watched a stream of his though in a
Yeah,
while, so
well,
maybe he does do that.
the politics have gone so off the wall. There's not really a good moment to do that because you need to be sort of like semi locked in. As I
Yeah.
said, I've been trying to follow and I can't.
Yeah.
I watch political shit every single day and yet I can't follow.
Yeah. Pretty much same. Though I will say in the last few days I haven't watched as much political content. I've mostly been watching Magic the Gathering content.
I mean,
or his
fair.
or history content. I've been watching a lot of Mini Minutemen and Professor Dave.
They're cool as
I
well.
love him so much. I rewatched his Ancient Apocalypse series, and I rewatched his debunk of Philip Zeba. Um,
You and archaeologists though.
I have a type, and the type is that people who dig in the desert. That is my type. Hold on, I want to pull up Milo Rossi, Minute Man here. Just,
I'm sure.
hold on, I can't spell it. There's too many
Like
M's and
pull them
N's.
up.
Mini Minute Man. Here he is. He's a very beautiful man.
Okay, like look, the one thing I
This makes him
really
look like a
can't
young
argue
Republican. This
at
is not a
all
good
about,
photo.
maybe not, but the one thing I really can't argue about is that he has glorious hair.
He has beautiful hair, and he makes wonderful videos. Um,
Glorious
like
hair.
some really, really great videos. His main focus is debunking like pseudoscience and like just fucking racism, and also science communication and stuff. Like his big emphasis is making sure that people can like learn cool things and get them interested in history while making it like entertaining for people, which is a huge important thing. Um, the first video I ever watched of him was when he made, where is it? It's before this. It was where is it? It was the history book video. They must be, where the hell
I
is it?
remember I watched a couple of his videos long ago. I couldn't tell you which was the first one, but it was still like very much.
It was this one. This is the first video of his I ever watched. Um, was I actually
I
sorting
think that's
by
the
most
first one I
popular?
watched.
Oh, I
I
see.
think that's the first one I watched.
Yeah, because it was a pretty big video of his. I don't know why. I feel like it's out of order though. I feel like that's not a 2 year old video because this is 2 years old. But then you scroll down more and it says 1 year ago. Oh, because it repeats because YouTube's having a fuck up. It's repeating. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is the first video of his I ever watched. Um,
I think that might have been the first one I ever watched as well, and it's like
it's a good
really
video.
shocking.
Yeah. But yeah, there's the Graham Hancock series, which I rewatched, which is really good. Really don't like Graham Hancock. His Gobekli Tepe video is great. Still haven't watched his
Wait,
video
was
where he goes
Graham
to Burma.
Hancock the one we had an argument about the
Graham
other day?
Hancock is
Not
the
not
not
you and
not
I,
not
but
no yeah no
in
the
your
in my server, yeah. Graham Hancock is the
in your
person we had an
server.
argument about in my server. Um, he's got a great video
Can we
series there.
sidetrack for a moment?
Yes,
Is it bad to go down that rabbit
we
hole
won't
for a
name
second?
anyone who was there, but I guess
No,
it's
we won't name names. We won't name and shame, but that was wild.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was mostly. I feel like it was like a failure to communicate in a way. You know, and part of it was like I feel like on
It's
both
when
sides we
people want
weren't
to have a
really.
conversation about a certain topic, but the words used by the two different people, I mean, it
Don't
was more than
cross.
just two people,
Yeah,
but they don't mean the same things to each of them.
yeah, yeah.
So like
Like
when you and I say Nazi, we mean like there's a whole lot of things that come with that. But then they were like, "Oh, but you can't call them a Nazi because they're not like part of the Nazi party." And
Wild's out of context. By the way, we were talking about Graham Hancock. Oh, the definition of Nazi. If you weren't, if you, it is a, it went in a million different ways. A semantics argument.
Like, who's a
Wild.
Marxist? It's like the
Yeah.
Marxists. I
The
think that was
Marxists.
my biggest moment where they were like,
It
who
felt
is a Marxist today? And I'm like, well, the
the
Marxists.
conversation felt like a fucking Monty Python
Yes,
like
it
skit.
really was.
Like also, do you say like Python or Python? Because I've heard some British people get really angry about it being called Python.
Python is very Americanized. Most British people and colonies of like former colonies of Britain, like South Africa, would say Python.
Okay, so
I say Python.
I'm gonna keep calling it Python then. Because I don't respect the British.
Why?
I
You
don't.
fucking American. Speak English, motherfucker!
No, I'm speaking American. Um,
God damn it.
but yeah, the other archaeologist I think is really hot. Is fucking. I don't even think I could show some of these. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think I could show.
Yeah, like, please
Trey
take your
the
archaeologist porn away.
Trey the explainer. Hold on. He's also a furry. There was one photo, but the photo I
You
have
and
isn't even here because I'm
pictures of
pretty sure
fucking
it's
furries.
not safe for safe search.
He's just no. Either way,
And Indiana Jones,
we've
of
we've
course. I have a type.
what's that mother that to me is like the one guy that my mom likes.
Oh, I know who you're talking about because we talked about it in the past on the previous episode, I'm sure. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name though.
Mark Harmon.
Yes, Mark Harmon.
That's like you and Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford is like my mom and Mark Harmon. Like she will
uh,
watch a show that's actively that bad because it's like, it's Mark Harmon.
hold on.
Look at him. And I'm like, Mom, come the fuck on now.
My mom's like that with Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because we watched JoJo as a family, and she saw Jotaro and was like, "Hell yeah!"
Can we put Mark Harmon in the thumbnail?
I kind of wanted to make the thumbnail about like Trump or something.
You can have a picture of Trump and then like Mark, but just put it doesn't need to be big, just like part of the thumbnails. Mark Harmon.
He's pretty attractive, I think. He kind of looks like.
Shut up! Don't have the same taste in men as my mother. Please. Did we not?
The reaction you had is so funny.
God damn it. Don't have the same taste in men
He
as my
kind of
mother.
looks
Shut up!
like an off-brand version of what's his fucking name? James Bond, the newest James. What's his fucking name? Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Doesn't he kind of look like an off-brand version of Daniel Craig? I feel like this might be my
Not
insanity.
really.
Actually,
This is your
this
insanity.
might be my
This
facial blindness. This is my insanity. Who is this guy? Is that Daniel Craig? That doesn't look like Daniel Craig. He has hair.
That is no, that's Daniel
What?
Craig. He's getting older. He's getting older.
What?
They're aging.
Why does he look
They're
like Elton
aging.
John if he got hit by a fucking growth ray? He looks like
He's
Elton John. He
aging.
looks like fucking Conan O'Brien.
He's aging.
Why does he have a fucking Conan O'Brien fucking Bill Nye hair? What the fuck?
Coiffed hair. I have to know though. Then
Why is he old?
what if I
He
gave
looks
you
wait,
another
what he looks
actor's
like what's his
name?
fucking he looks like Brad Pitt here.
What if I gave you another actor's name and you rate my mom's taste on that then?
Alright, give me.
Sam Elliott.
Oh, ew. When I think of Sam Elliott, I think of like the mustache is alive. Oh wow, no, he's way too like fucking like not he's like I mean obviously when I think of him I think of like cowboy shit, really.
He's always in cowboy shit.
He played Elliot Ross in the Hulk movie though, in the original Hulk movie. That's notable, I guess. Um Yeah, no,
How about
he's just a
one
fucking
more?
cowboy guy. I don't
One
know.
more.
Or one more. Who is it?
One more. I just can't resist this. This is hilarious to me. Tom Selleck.
Oh, Tom Selleck. We talked about him. That's the one who I thought we were talking about earlier. No, Tom Selleck is no. He's way too like don't even
And
know who
here's the
his way to
thing,
like.
from young to old.
From young to old.
Like just his entire life, my mom
Does he look
like
like
his
young again?
age.
Well, I guess that we had photos of him young. It was literally like the first image, but
Yeah. Because the most famous thing he ever did, like the biggest thing, the height of his career was arguably Magnum PI.
true. Was he the one in Smokey the Bandit? Was this guy? Or am I thinking of a different guy who looks like
Um,
this?
it might be. Let me just. No, no. Who you're thinking of is Burt Reynolds.
Oh, I'm thinking of Burt Reynolds. Yeah, they look alike. I'm not insane with this one.
You're not completely insane with this one, but Burt Reynolds does have a different vibe to his face.
Burt
Like,
Reynolds looks
look,
like Pedro
I'm not a
Pascal.
fan of. I'm not a big fan of them. Yeah, I could see this.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not insane with
like
this
Tom
one.
Selleck, Pedro Pascal is like a less evil version of Burt Reynolds. Tom Selleck gives a different. Like, he seems like a disappointed
He looks like
grandfather.
Omni Man.
Yes, yes, I could see that. He does. I could see
Okay.
it.
This is a fucking stupid conversation.
I mean, it is, but
My mom really likes Brad Pitt though for talking about people like that. We watched Inglorious Bastards, but he was in that, right? I'm not stupid.
yeah, yes, he
Yes,
was in
and
the. He was a
she was
star in
just like,
that.
I hope Brad Pitt doesn't die.
But I mean, like Brad Pitt at times in his life has been quite the looker. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of what you think of him as a person, like
I
visually,
think his ugliest look was World War Z. I think he looks so fucking gross there. Maybe it's because he just looks so. Maybe it's just like his hair. He looks really dirty in that movie. Even before the zombies break out and he's like covered in blood, like he just looks dirty. I just don't really like. I just don't think he's hot. I guess. Yes.
I mean, you
Unsurprisingly.
know, well, he's not your type, is he?
No. Who the fuck
But like he
even?
used to. I'm seeing if I can find it. Like at one point, he was the heartthrob, right?
Oh, true. At one point, he was like the Leonardo DiCaprio kind of guy. You know,
He was
his
Leonardo
role.
DiCaprio, but with a little bit more edge.
Literally, because his jawline is like a fucking chisel.
But also, like this was his first like massive role, I think.
What movie is
Meet
it?
Joe Black,
Meet Joe Black.
and like he plays death, like the literal, like the Grim Reaper. Like he plays death.
Norm
So he
Macdonald
was
played
very
Death on
much like a
Family Guy.
DiCaprio. Yeah, well, but you get what I mean with like he was DiCaprio, but with a bit more edge.
Right, right. He was DiCaprio for, but like
He
he'd
was
go a
in an
little
interview with a
cooler, you know.
vampire. He was the
Oh,
star of Interview with a Vampire. Like he
oh.
was like, you know. But then he also did things like this,
Oh
which
yeah,
is like
Fight
that
Club.
machismo good looking. That like, oh, he just fought the dragon kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm never surprised when people like Brad Pitt. It's just who he's become is so awful.
What do you mean? I'm not up to date on my Brad Pitt lore. Was he the one that
Uh,
was in the
I
fucking
don't even
like
know where to
psycho
start.
cult with like Megan Fox? Is that him?
No, I
Who was
don't think
that?
that was him.
Who was
He's too
that?
big for stuff like that.
Who was the one who was
I
like
don't know who
burning
that
their tongue
was.
with
I
Megan Fox?
I actively like my brain actively shut off when Megan Fox came around, and not for the reasons you think. I think she's
Oh,
awful,
Machine Gun Kelly.
and my brain shuts off with him as well. I think he's awful.
Yeah, no, I hate Machine Gun
Eminem
Kelly.
was right. Corey Taylor also had beef with him.
My professor has been giving out books of his that are like he's like trying to give
Machine Gun
away.
Kelly.
No, my professor has been giving away books that have been in his library, his personal library, because he's like downsizing his home and stuff, and like making rooms, like renovating them, and he doesn't have space for a lot of these books. I managed to get two off of him, but one of the ones he gave out was randomly a collection of Megan Fox poems.
What?
It was we read some of them in class, and they were awful. I don't remember any of them now, but they were really bad. But like it's so funny because he hands me this book of like the shades of Hiawatha and like the story of the Iroquois nation, and he hands me a book about like European first contact with Native Americans, and then like the next day it's like, ah, here's a book on Megan Fox's poems.
My brain actively died a little bit.
Want to talk about something we care about then?
Yeah,
So
you
last
hit me
last
with
last
the
week we talked about polyamory because of that
ah.
Meat Canyon video. Um, and there's no really way to segue into it now other than that, like, I feel like we talked about one important thing in our lives. I feel like we need to talk about the other thing that's kind of unique to, that's both of our lives and stuff. Um, and that's non-binary identity. Because
Gender
it's something
identity.
that I wanted to ask you about for a while, and I feel like maybe it can make an interesting conversation. But like, what does it mean for you that you're like non-binary and go by they them and stuff?
So I guess that one cuts deep as a question.
You don't have to like say things you don't want to say on the podcast.
I mean, fair, but it's kind of like what we've built today around men and women doesn't feel right at all. Like how relationships work, how people work, how like just you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like I don't feel like male and I don't feel like I don't know. It's it's that feeling of it just doesn't
You don't feel like either of them fit.
like I can't realistically say either of them are particularly true for me. And that's the thing of it, right? It's
Right.
like what's true for yourself,
Yeah. For me, I think
I
it's like
guess.
the same way, where it's like I, for many years now, have not felt like man fits me, like male and all that. I don't feel like I fit any of that. For a while, I thought maybe woman would fit because, like, if not man, then woman. And for a bit, that was nice and stuff. But after a while, I kind of felt like I was faking it and nothing really, like, that wasn't nice. But then, like, I started referring to myself neutrally as if, like, I was neither. And it was like, you know what? I feel comfortable in this like neither ground. I'm neither man nor woman. I am neither. And I ask that because like I think most people when they think of non-binary think of the way we think of it, or how it is for us. But like some people, it's like I'm a mix of both. Maybe I lean one
And
more.
that's the other
Yeah,
side of it
yeah,
because like people can feel and believe multiple things at the same time. It's
yeah.
like
There,
but neither may be true, but like
there are
both feel like they have truths in them.
Yeah, and there are times when, even though I feel that neither man or woman fit me, there are times when I want to give off a bit of masculinity. There are times when I want to give off a bit of femininity, mostly in my fashion. Like I do like dressing in like denim jeans, like a jacket with a band shirt, and like try to look like a fucking like a metal fucking singer, like but like a loser, And I kind of want to like look like kind of scary. Like I kind of like that sometimes, but sometimes I want to
I
dress in like
mean, you like the
librarian
misfits.
clothes. I do. Sometimes I want to dress in like librarian clothes and like look really fucking comfy and stuff and wear women's clothing like that. And I think that's my mood most of the time. But sometimes I want to scare a bitch, like sometimes I want to look
I mean,
scary in the
like,
library while I listen to fucking the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure opening songs in my fucking my Spotify playlist. You
I
know?
mean, you've seen some of the like people I've told you is hot
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck?
No, hold on. I'm not going, what the fuck? I'm going like either
No,
I'm
but you
joining
are
with
like
you.
quite surprised.
No, I'm not
Like
surprised.
you're a man,
Mirabellum, yeah, like this is like not really in the style that I like, but I totally get it.
you know.
I think it's mostly the hair, honestly. The hair just looks like
The hair
it
is,
feels the hair looks like it feels like slimy in some photos because of too much gel or something, or
It
sweat.
is probably a lot of gel because you got to get the hair in like those perfect shapes because the hair
Yeah.
doesn't move. That's the
Yeah.
freaky thing about these like subcultures sometimes is that there's
The
like
hair does
something
not
like that
move.
where it's like you are using a lot of gel though.
For me, hair is like I like a lot of it and I like it when it moves. So whenever like hair is really done up in a way where it's a specific way and gelled up, I don't really like it. Only the way it feels either. I don't hate putting
Oh,
gel in my hair. When I was still young and like would go out to like Easter dinners and stuff and Christmas dinners with my family and I had short hair, my mom would always gel it up so I looked nice and I fucking hated it so much. It was the worst. I hated having the gel in my hair because it felt like I was in a cocoon.
gel would actively give me a headache.
Same. Some gels gave me hives. I had horrible hives when I was in middle school and stuff. And like
Oh,
some
sensitive
products,
skin.
yeah, some products would really fuck with me. I still kind of have sensitive skin. If I don't like wash my face, like if I like don't wash my face once, I'll like get a pimple, like once. Like I take perfect care of my body. I'm pretty clean. Like I take really take really good care of my hair and stuff. I feel like I have like a I could be better when it comes to like the extra stuff. When it comes to like perfumes and lotions and stuff, I could probably get better at them and stuff and smell better with that. But like I smell like a normal person. I have a good actually I shouldn't say
Dog,
normal because I think the average person smells like shit.
you smell like
Um,
a dog.
like shut the fuck up. I feel like I'm like I was saying I'm what's I take care of myself in what should be the average amount, but I think the average person barely wipes their ass. At
Oh
least the
wow.
average guy, at least the average
No,
American
you gotta
man.
clean your ass. You gotta clean your
The
ass.
average American man, I fully think, doesn't wipe their ass sufficiently enough.
You gotta clean your ass. Like
I
that's
want
a
a bidet.
100% like
I want a bidet. Speaking of cleaning ass, I think a bidet would like change my life and make me like a million times happier. I don't
I mean,
know. Just like love tap of water, like a little good job. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. This is supposed to be like a good conversation about non-binary identity. It really got
I
off the
guess
plot.
it's just I guess look, being what sort of like roller coaster ride life is sometimes, it's not always an easy topic for everybody because
No.
especially for me, it's like you know how people perceive me.
Yes. A rat.
Like you know how many people out there are just not.
Ian's the same for me too. Uh, like it just when you're non-binary, the fucking worst. The most common thing is that nobody just calls you by they them. It just
Yeah,
never happens unless you're talking to non-binary people or trans people. Like it just never happens.
yeah, but the
And
thing
even
is
then,
that
with trans people, it still
undeniably,
happen.
undeniably, I know the perception of me is of being very, very masculine.
Mm.
And so because of that, I don't know if it's that or if it's something else, but even trans people are
I
like not
think
really
I think it's because in your Discord profile picture, you you're not shaved. Like you have facial hair in the profile picture, and that's probably what it is. Because that's really the only time people see your face.
yeah, but they also hear my voice
Yeah, but I feel like you can
and the way that I
voice
speak, I think.
voice doesn't really matter,
Like I'm not
honestly.
demure. And let's just be honest, there are expectations of women today to be more, or should I say, like, at least within the mainstream, a woman isn't like, I will fuck your shit up.
Yeah, but in our circles, I think
Like
that's
in
kind of
real
common.
life, well, lots of women are like that.
Yeah, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Like when you hear
Okay.
someone talk like that, your first instinct is not really woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's very tied in with the I don't know, where do you land on the bisexual versus pansexual
I think it's
discussion?
just down to personal preference of what word you prefer. I prefer bi because I like the colors of the flag more, and I think that the word is makes more sense because it's I like penis and vagina, and bi. There's two of those. There's no third genital that we're secretly missing.
No, but that's not referring to which sets of
I
genitals
know,
are
I
special.
know. I just like I think of it that way.
Traditionally, at least. It's like that's the argument I hear quite often is that people say, oh, like bi meaning two, meaning, but there are more than two genders, and it all
Yeah, people
ties into
people
all
call
that stuff.
like bisexual people transphobe or non-binary phobic, whatever the hell, because they're only talking about men and women, and it's like, well, no, this
But
term
then,
exists
there's also
forever
the
ago.
argument I've heard from bi people are like, it doesn't only mean that, it also means like me and not like me, which is also two
That's I've
different
never
things.
heard of that one before. That's kind of dumb.
Look,
Um,
I've heard all the shit, right?
I
But my
like
opinion is I prefer pansexual.
I think that makes more sense. I just think the flag is disgusting in affront to my eyes.
Why?
The colors don't match, and I don't like that they're just
Really,
big
colors
stripes.
don't matter.
They need better. It's got to stop being fucking stripes. We have enough stripes. We don't need more stripes. It looks like ice cream. It looks like the ice cream you don't buy at the store.
What's okay? Like,
The trans colors of the ice cream you do buy. Like I
look,
understand. Like at least the line thickness on the bi flag is different.
this is bisexual,
Yeah, that's why I have it above my head right now on my window.
and this is
That's the pansexual.
pansexual.
Yeah. The bisexual one looks like a color palette. The pansexual one looks like a toy in the abstract. You know those images where like they take Peter Griffin and they like take his colors and they make like the flag of India? That's what this looks like. It looks like you took a cartoon character and then just brought them down to only their colors.
Yeah, but you're
Like
also
Marge
somebody who
Simpson.
doesn't like the progress flag.
Yeah, because I think there's too many fucking things on there. So what is excluded becomes more obvious and therefore becomes fucking more bigoted, you know? Like not like more like the more things you add, the less inclusive it becomes. Because now it becomes more obvious what you're excluding. The whole point of the rainbow is that it didn't point to anyone specifically and it had them like why the fuck is the Native American symbol there?
It's the two soul symbol
I
because
know, but like the but now you gotta add like the fucking everything. You gotta add like the bear mark on there for the bear flag. Like you gotta add everything. When you have just the rainbow, it signifies that everyone is included with just a rainbow. When you add in all this other stuff, like I get that the black and brown is there for the Philadelphia flag, which was there to symbolize the uniting of the gay and black and brown communities. But like the progress flag, you're being exclusionary by adding all this stuff in. It's not good. Also, on that one you showed with the
it's
two
more than just
spirits,
like
the purple on the purple circle was off centered, and also the yellow was darker on the two spirits one. I don't know why that is. That bothers me.
okay, that bothers just you, but remember these are like digital images pulled from like random sources.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
don't like that. I think the rainbow is the rainbow for a reason.
it's more than just lines, though. You were complaining a moment ago about we have enough
I know
lines,
it's
but
more
it's
than just
more than
lines, but now
just
there's lines in a
lines.
fucking tri.
There's
You like it
little
because it's the same.
chevrons
You like it
too.
because it's the same layout as the South African flag, where it's the
Okay,
triangle on one side to break it up.
I mean, are you saying I might be biased because I grew up
I
seeing
am.
a
I'm
certain aesthetic in the flags?
possibly.
Because,
I'm saying there might
I
be a bit of
mean,
bias.
but this is not a chevron.
It isn't a
There
chevron.
are
You're
other
right.
flags with
It
chevrons.
isn't a
This is not
chevron,
the same. This
but
is a
it's still
Y.
it's.
Because why not, right?
I think that the progress flag is well-meaning, but it's also kind of bad. It's also kind of bad. Not saying
Alligator.
like I am the bigger flag lover here than you are. Okay, let me be honest here. I have a degree in
You know, the fact
flagology.
that you feel that strongly about it, Imma just say, yeah, yeah, it's,
Oh my god. If there were
'cause,
three
like,
things,
honestly, like, flags, I guess, are also a representation in many ways of, like, people, like, the nation,
mhm.
and I'm not somebody who's, like, how do I put this without actually getting myself in trouble, Riley?
You're not someone who really cares much for the idea of a nation state.
Yes.
I'm the same way.
Like, at all.
I'm the same way.
Like, ideologically, like,
To me,
I'm not patriotic
yeah,
to
to
South
me,
Africa, but I'm not
flags,
patriotic to anywhere or anyone.
yeah. To me, flags are more than national symbols. They can, like, they are obviously national symbols and when they're representing a country, but they can also be for a movement, for a cause, for a group.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but that's what I mean. But like,
They're iconography. They're just a symbol you use to show support for
yeah,
something.
it's a tool.
They're
It's a tool.
yes, they're tools,
Iconography being
and
a
they're
tool.
also there's an art form to it too. There's meaning. There's
Yes,
a
but
very
it's
specific meanings
the
behind
sort of
what is in flags.
nationalistic side, like,
Yeah, I don't like whenever people talk about like flag burnings in America and how those people should change court. I'm obviously incredibly against putting flag burning and like as a crime and stuff, and like disrespect to the flag being a crime. I don't. I hear people in America all the time talk about why do you have the flag from like how many stars are there?
I don't know. I just
That's
fucking
15 stars.
Google.
When the fuck did you get the flag from like 1790?
I don't know, but
America. I'm from
is that
1805.
better?
I don't even think that's 50. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
They're
6.
counting the
1,
stars.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 times 9. What is that?
Fuck if I know.
That- That's 30. That's 30. That's 30 stars. Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. I don't think
Just,
that's the right flag. It
I
also
don't. Does it matter?
it's funny though that you didn't pull up the right one. I don't think that's 50. No, it's 5 times 9. What's 5 times 9? 5 times 9 is 45. Yeah, this is the 40. This is the one from like 1930 fuck not 19 like 32 or some shit. I don't know. That
This
one
is
looks right.
better.
That one looks right. That one looks right. I can tell at a glance. That's
I
the right one. That's the right one. I
go.
could
You
tell.
gotta do like math to figure
That's
out which
7 on
flag is
top.
the correct goddamn flag.
There's 7 on top. That looks right. That looks right.
You shoot me.
Yeah, it's 7 by 5, which is fucking something. That's like what, 45, and then there's 4 in the. Wait, no, this isn't the right one. They're missing a star. Because wait, that's wrong. Because on the
I
bottom,
literally typed USA
because on the
flag
bottom, there's an extra
2025.
white stripe on the bottom. This isn't the right flag. This isn't the right
I
flag. There's a white stripe. Does the American wait? There's a white American flag. Hold on. Wait a fucking minute. Hold on. Wait. There's no. I'm so fucking confused. Yeah. No. Look it on the bottom. Like right there. Current. No. On the right. On the right. This is a DeviantArt. What the fuck? Hold on. They're missing a bottom.
this is the first
They're
result
missing. They're missing a
for
red
this
stripe on the bottom.
search.
They're missing a red stripe on the bottom. What the? They're missing a red stripe. This is a fucking no. See, look it on that flag. It's right. That's the correct flag. Why?
Okay,
Why is the
I just
first result
wanted
for the
like a
USA
digital
flag
image.
wrong?
This is why, because it's like I couldn't even tell. Where'd I start with?
I'm
This
standing
one?
up right now.
Wow, somebody just is going through their patriotic
No,
phase.
I'm going
Nationalist
insane.
Riley.
I'm going
Am I hearing
insane.
right?
I'm going insane.
Nationalist Riley.
No. Oh my god.
Nationalist Riley.
I do
Wow,
I
the
do
hot
think
take.
I do think the American flag is pretty good though as a flag design. Same thing with like South Africa's flag. These are like proper nations flags, you know? Cuz some countries you see their flag and it's like, "Really? This is the best you
Yeah,
can do?"
but like both America and South Africa actually have something in common regarding the idea behind their flag design.
That being what?
Your flag, the elements of your flag mean something.
That's every flag. For the most part, like you can find like pretty much most flags have reasons for why they are the way they are, whether it be what the colors
Yeah,
represent,
but
what the
like
iconography on it represents, why there are the layouts of why they are. You know, like the Irish
I
flag,
just feel like it's far
orange
more
is
the intentionality is far more pronounced.
yeah, but like it can be. It's even in
Like
the
if
subtle
you added
flags.
another state now,
There'd be
you'd need a new
51.
flag.
Yeah, yeah. Um, my
Like
favorite.
all the places that make flags have to make all new flags.
That'll be fun. The last time that happened was in Alaska became a state in the 50s. Um,
I mean, that just sounds like a lot of money.
it is a lot of money. That's probably why Puerto Rico hasn't become a state. Um, I mentioned it a second ago, but the funniest flag and one that kind of represents how even in the more subtle, like basic flags, there's still meaning is the Irish flag, where the orange represents the Catholics. No, the orange represents the Protestants. The green represents the Catholics, and then the white represents like the separation between them. Like even in the more subtle flags, you still got that type of stuff. And sometimes it's like the German flag is the colors of the 1848 revolution and stuff. Um, you have like some more basic ones like the UK where it's like
I
just
like
the
this
different.
design more.
The Irish flag is
Wait,
great. Oh yeah, the
this
shamrock
one.
on it. It's a little tacky, but
Yeah.
like I like it.
No, fuck you. It's not tacky. I like
It's
it.
a fucking. Maybe it's because I live in America where I see fucking Irish people with shamrock tattoos all the fucking time. But like, yeah, it's a little tacky. Maybe it's the specific printing of it looks a little tacky. I like the lyre. Whenever I see the Irish flag represented with like a lyre or something, I think that's nice. I think the lyre is
But
a good symbol.
I
Oh, the
equate
German tricolor is great.
the German flag with Rammstein,
Well, yeah. Actually, I looked this up earlier today. What side of Germany do you think Lindemann was from?
East Germany,
Yeah, he's from Leipzig in East Germany.
Leipzig,
Leipzig. I'm stupid. Leipzig. Um,
Leipzig.
Leipzig. I don't know. But yeah, this color comes from the 1848 revolutions, where Germany was trying to initially unite as one country as a democratic like council. But the Holy Roman Empire, not the Holy Roman
I
Empire,
don't know how I feel about having like the German flag like
so big on the screen.
so big. So um,
um,
uh, it's deeply sad.
uh, look up the flag of Angola real quick. That's a good one.
Angola.
Angola, yeah. That's the one that has a gun and like machete on it.
Well, it doesn't have a gun.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of Mozambique with the gun. Yeah, this is the one with the machete on it, and then Mozambique is the one that has a gun and like a book. Communist flags go crazy. Yeah, the gun, the hoe, and the
A
book.
gun with a knife.
It's a bayonet on there, yeah.
Like it's like this
Insane.
is more than just gun. This is sharp gun.
I think
Which means I could shoot you with a gun, or if you come near me,
I
I'll
can
poke
stab
you
you.
with the spot end.
I think my favorite of the communist flags out there is Cuba's because it doesn't really hit you over the head with like the communist like we're going to kill every American ever, but it's like still kind of like it feels like a flag you can fly without feeling like a revolutionary. Like it's just a really solid flag, you know? Like I could be down with being around with that one hanging from like the banister of every building in like a beach or something, you know?
This is the
Cuba's
Captain America flag.
that's what? That's Cuba.
Yeah, but I mean, like
What are you talking
the
about?
Captain America design.
What are you Look up the Captain America shield. What are you talking about? It's the American flag on him. He's fucking Captain America. We've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah, it is coming to that time. It is coming to
Yeah.
that time. We've gone a
We've
little
we've
off
we've
the
gone insane. I
rail.
wanted to talk about non-binary stuff. We looking up.
We did for a little
We
bit.
did. I feel like we covered what was important about it. This is a wild episode. I literally like during that last conversation, I stood up and now I'm like on my knees now.
Oh my goodness.
I was legitimately losing my mind over like if the flag was wrong or if I just got like Mandela affected or something.
Could have pulled up one with like 9 stars.
There is none with 9 stars because we started with 13.
I know, but it would have fucked with you.
It probably would have. Flag from like 1702 or some shit. Before America ever fucking existed. It was just
The flag,
colonies.
the flag they used like the day they landed.
I know one day we'll be a proud republic with 50 states, and we're gonna add one state for every 1 star for every state. So we have to start with 0 and work our way up. You know, it's like kind of
God.
like a perk tree system. Oh my god! Imagine like an American like RPG game where each star is like its own perk, and it like works like that, and then and then like the
Oh
stripes represent
no.
like a path, like
Oh
a skill tree
no.
path or
This is
something.
why like your country made like achievements a thing in games.
Hold on, hold on. Don't make achievements an Americanized like, oh man, this is like America's worst
You
creation
play video game
is.
good. Yeah. You
Why are
get gold
achievements a bad
star.
thing? Hold on now.
You get gold
Wait, why are
star.
we complaining about achievements now? What the fuck? Goddamn war on video.
Trivia
The
games.
woke
You
are.
win at video
The
games.
woke menace is going at war with video games. They want to remove achievements from gaming.
Okay, let's be fair. The industry of video games is bad.
Yeah, I don't think trophies and achievements have anything to do with that in the slightest.
I don't know.
I don't know. Have you been noticing recently how many games have achievements? I don't know about you, but I've been noticing that. Yeah, I'm the real noticer
Think
here.
of it this way, right?
Yeah,
Think of it this way.
yeah.
I remember this with like older games as well, like BioShock. They released and then they released DLC, and then the DLC had more achievements, which means your 100% achievements just went away.
How about this? In some games, they separate the 100% status. Like on some consoles, I should say, like on PlayStation, if you don't own the DLC, it doesn't attribute to your 100% score. So, get wrecked. Liberal. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the Patreon where you can get your name in the credits.
Subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to the
That one's
channel
free.
and share this to your 5 friends, or else you'll be visited by the demon of sorrow, and they will take your left eye
Oh,
and feed it to you. What?
thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.